Hey guys, this is Kyle, the drummer of Lame Genie. I'm gonna do something different today. I have my drums that I've been using for a couple of years now, these beautiful DW Design Acrylics. I absolutely love them. I love the way they look. I love putting LEDs in them. I love the glow that they give. But at the same time, I've noticed a trend recently. Everybody has these drums, and I wanted to make mine stand out from the pack, look a little bit different, and really take advantage of the glow and the LEDs in these drums. So what I'm gonna do, take them all apart and try and frost the shells with some privacy film. You can get this stuff for bathrooms, for windows, and what this essentially does is frost the glass with this static cling paper. It's easy to take off, it leaves no residue or anything. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna strip all the hardware off my drums. Stupid move, I already know. Put this privacy paper inside each of these drums, and hopefully it looks cool. And I'll show you the results. I'm gonna show you the complete process of how I did this. And hopefully at the end, we can see something worth seeing. So I hope you enjoy. Stay tuned. I've been wanting to do this project ever since I got these acrylic drums. I remember seeing a video on YouTube, I don't know, what is it, 10, 15 years ago, of someone playing an RD kit that was all frosted out with LEDs inside, and it looked so awesome. And ever since then, I've kind of been interested in trying this. It was only till recently until our guitar player, Jeff, got really into the WLED system and started developing software where, you know, I really wanted to jump full throttle into this frosted look. So you can see here I'm taking out the old LED strips that we had in there. Those were another custom project by our guitar player, so hope he doesn't need those pieces because I hacked through them. So first thing I had to do with the shell was take all the hardware pieces off. This was by far the most tedious process. I always hate doing this. I'm very unorganized, and getting these pieces back in the spots that I remember them proved to be a big challenge, especially with the kick drum and the floor tom, making sure the legs and the kick drum legs were all facing the same direction after I put them back on the shell. That took about 2 attempts each, so that was kind of a pain. I'm only going to show the floor tom in this project because the other toms are very, very similar. One of the big issues I had as well was a stupid air vent. I think I spent a whole hour just trying to get the air vent out because I didn't realize the inside had an Allen wrench. Could have easily just tried that, but it wasn't until I looked deep into the vent hole where I saw the Allen wrench. You can see me very confused about how I get that out. So luckily David R had a video about those. That kind of led me in the right direction, that the Allen is the way to go. Eventually you can see I'm super pissed, super confused. I'm like, what the hell's going on with this thing? David R, ChatGPT, how do I do this? Eventually I figured it out. So again, that was probably the longest part of this whole process, and after I figured that out, I think I'm sticking a screwdriver in. What the hell am I doing? Super pissed off right now. After I figured that out, all the other drums are kind of a breeze. Besides the vent hole, the hardest part about this entire build was making sure the paper is on there straight. Granted, I have about an inch on the top and bottom where the LEDs have to stick, so I have a little wiggle room, but at the same time, getting this thing to lay flat and in the right position was very tough. Eventually I did figure that as I put the frosted glass in, if I make sure it's tight and then get the hardware pierced through the shell to hold it in place, that was an easier way to go. So I did that for the kick and the floor tom, but not for this rack tom. It wasn't until I started pushing the hardware through where I found how much easier it is to hold it in place that way. I think I used tape for this rack tom, but again, the floor tom came together way easier than this. And now you can see here I'm starting to put through the first couple of hardware screws. I'm just punching the holes with a very thin screwdriver. It seemed to be the best route, but the problem I was running into here was when I would pull the screwdriver back out, the paper was coming with it, so I just had to make sure to apply a little pressure in order to get that paper to not pop out. Again, this wasn't nearly as difficult as I thought it was going to be. The hardest part was aligning the paper and the tedium, so make sure you have, you know, a weekend's worth of an energy drinks and coffee to get this done, because taking those hardware on and off for, you know, hours was very backbreaking, leaning over like that. Super happy with the results. And I always clean my drums with some plastic cleaner. I think it's called Plastics. It's for car headlights. On acrylic shells, that works so good. It makes them completely see-through again. When I first got these shells, I ended up using a Windex, I think, on him like an idiot. And it kind of buffed some scratches into the acrylic. And I was able to get those buff scratches out with this plastics solution stuff. So if you have any issues with your acrylic and cleaning it, definitely look into plastics. So here I'm just assembling the rest of the hardware. Again, super tedious process. I'm hoping to speed this up even more than this because you don't really need to see me struggle through this hardware. And make sure you stick around till the end of the video. I do show a version of the drums without the LEDs just to get a before and after, but make sure you stick around till after that where I go through the full kit with all the LEDs. One thing we did in the past was have triggers on the drums, and then we can trigger the LEDs on hit, and it's one of the coolest looks that we've had. But the materials I was using to put that together were very inefficient and unreliable. We're hoping to do that same thing with this new system that our guitar player is building for the LEDs, and I think it's going to work a lot better than the old system did. Now guys, I just finished up with the first tom here. I don't even have the lights in this yet, but this looks fucking sick. Look at how cool that looks. Oh my god, that's so rad. I still need to put the LEDs in, and I'm going to rely on our guitarist Jeff because he is the LED guru. We have this brand new LED system that he's developing that we're going to be putting in this and piloting it at our shows. So hopefully when I see you again, the rest of the kit is done. But yeah, I can't wait to see this thing in action.